Hey man, Hebron Ben Bilal, come back at you with another edition of this Boomer's Logic. Look at that, 2 videos back to back, man. Giving y'all a treat today. Wanted to discuss with y'all real briefly, man, about the guy in Chicago that I was briefly touching on in my last video and tying it into the situation that happened with me today. But before I get into that, man, if you haven't already, go to the channel, Boomer's Logic, Hebron Ben Bilal, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, tell a friend to tell a friend. So first I need to make a change, modify something, change something. Earlier I said it was the parable of the donkey and the lion. It's not called the donkey and the lion. I was really frustrated and trying to get that thing out of me. So it's the parable of the donkey and the tiger. Now there's a lion in the parable. I think it's a parable. It's real good for those who I didn't get to send it to, man. Google it, listen to it. It's very insightful. It's a good one. So for those of y'all who watched the video that I just uploaded called Untitled, I told you about a situation that happened to me today where, I was making a delivery and, a young lady just got to talking crazy to me for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't watched it already, go back, watch the Untitled first. Watch my tangent on that, my rant on that. I use a lot of blue language because I was really pissed off. I don't apologize for it. I make no apologies for it. Because sometimes you need to hear it that way to understand that, a lot of this stuff, man, is coming to a head with a lot of us brothers. But anyway, I digress on that. I wanted to tie that situation into what happened to the man in Chicago and him putting his hands, what led up to him putting his hands on that woman. Now, a lot of people say he should have put his hands on the woman, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people feel like that. I don't particularly feel that way. I feel like she put herself in harm's way. No matter what, she put herself in harm's way. And it doesn't matter if she started the argument or not. She put herself in harm's way, her and her son, by standing there and continue to argue with this man, even after he threatened her with physical violence. Now, what a lot of y'all don't know is that it turns out the dude is a GD and they looking for the mom and the son. See, she did that. It don't matter if he was the initiator, he started the argument. Once he threatened her with physical violence, she should have removed herself from the situation. And a lot of you can sit and argue with me on many different points about that. But at the end of the day, as a female, once a man hits that point, you gotta move out. Unless you know how to really throw them things. You know what I'm saying? And you willing to take what he gave her. You know what I'm saying? She stood there and she continued to argue and she put herself in harm's way after that man told her, I'm gonna hit you in your mouth. Warned her 3 times. I'm gonna hit you in your mouth. Get out of here, right? She put herself in harm's way. Once again, it doesn't matter whether she started the argument or not. That's not the point I'm making here. Once that man physically said, this is what I'm physically going to do to you if you don't get out of my face because I'm at that point, right? She should have removed herself. She didn't. She decided to stay there like she had a set of nuts, and he gave her the business. Now, not only did she suffer physical beating, now she got these people looking for her and her son. Now she done put them in further harm's way. Whether you agree with me or not, it doesn't really matter. That's my position on it. And I'm going to stand on that 10 toes down. Now I'm going to tie that in with the situation that happened today. That young lady at that hotel, whether she looks at it that way or not, she put herself in harm's way. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was not doing anything. I go out of my way to stay out of people's way. She has no idea that I have post-traumatic stress disorder. She has no idea that I done spent 20 years in prison. She has no idea about my history of violence. She has no idea about these things. But she was so quick to run her mouth at me Once again, didn't do anything to her, didn't say anything to her, did not look at the woman. But she's decided that I was going to be the one today. Now, what if I decided that she was going to be the one today? She put herself in a bad spot, whether she wants to acknowledge it or not. But see, they're continuously able to get away with these things, right? It's another thing that I thought about as I reflected on the situation where the white dude, just told me, man, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Just let it rock. See, this is becoming way too repetitive. This is happening way too often. Excuse me. It's happening way too often where the man or the black man has to be the one to take the high ground, the high moral ground. Oh, I took the high road and I didn't say anything to her. And we're not even the ones engaging these people. The women are engaging us, but we are the ones who have to stand with humility, a sense of humility, because we're the stronger and more dominant sex, and we know we can pummel her. And man, what you doing hitting the female? They have to. What he should have did, what the white boy should have did, the white boy should have turned around and told her, because she was the one talking to me. I didn't say anything. I said zero. So the white boy should have turned around and said, hey, listen, what did he do? And once he assessed that nothing occurred, hey, leave that man alone. That man ain't did nothing to you. But we're not doing that. We're checking the brother and telling them, man, go ahead on, man, go ahead on. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Now, in that situation, I do understand that it wasn't worth it. It could have led to a lot more because she would have continued to run her mouth, and I was already in that place. As you see on the video, I was already in that place. She would have just kept running her mouth, and I would have turned her head like the Exorcist. If I'd have got close enough to her and she kept running her mouth, I was going to put my hands on her. So it was best dealt with that way, because I would have been the loser out the whole situation, right? But this is becoming far too often where these women can talk out of place to us, belligerent to us, disrespect us in public, put their hands on us, berate us, do all kind of stuff to us as men, and we have to suck that up. We have to be the ones to suck that up, and that ain't how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to work like that. And once again, they're putting themselves in harm's way to the point where, you getting hurt. And I'm seeing a lot of videos like that where these women are putting themselves in positions where dudes is mauling them and doing all kind of stuff to them. And you're putting yourselves in these positions. And then once again, you got this pandering panty sniffer of the month, Umar Johnson. He made another video where he talking about all black women are queens. Even if they're not acting like queens, they queens. This panderer says, he goes on to say, even if a sister approaches me and she's talking crazy and she's disrespectful, I'm never going to say nothing to her, because at the end of the day, she's the queen of the community. See, this is this mindset, this whorish mindset, man, that's setting these women on these particular trajectories. This is what allows them and empowers them to do this foolishness. This is what made this girl so comfortable to go out of her way to say that stuff that she said to me today. You see what I'm saying? She was comfortable with saying that. She has said that to other black men that she doesn't know. I'm not the first. But once again, you got these panderers, these panty-sniffing panderers who are out here empowering these women to act like that. And then go out of their way to, oh, no, the sister ain't wrong. You can't be putting your hands on no sister. You shouldn't have done that. And this and this and this. Once again, she doesn't understand. This lady did not understand or even realize she's messing with a dude who has post-traumatic stress disorder. I have been diagnosed with this. This is one of the reasons I'm on Social Security. That I could have snapped in that hallway, broke her up, and went to court and said, man, I got post-traumatic stress disorder. She, you know, I felt threatened and I snapped. And they're going to look at it and say, hey, man, he's been diagnosed with this. What did he do? And they're going to look at all of it on the tape. See, I'm not going to sit here and use mental illness as an issue, as an excuse, because I never do that. But a lot of these women, once again, this issue today, this situation today, this woman put herself in a position where she could have ultimately lost her life or a bunch of her teeth. All just for the sake of opening her mouth and feeling good about berating a grown man. This is where we at. And it's these weak as water, pandering, sissy, half a gump, black dudes who want a platform, who gets on and empowers these girls to do this. Getting on there making excuses for their behavior and their conduct and the things that they say out of their mouths. Will go out of their way to make it about a man versus the behavior and attitudes of these women. And I'm going to tell you something. This is why I said a long time ago, I told y'all this a long time ago. Some of y'all going to remember, some of you ain't. I told you a long time ago, these whores, these half-naked black whores out here, this is what I said. If I seen one of them getting jumped on in the parking lot of one of these stores, I wouldn't do nothing. I'd go straight to my car. I'm not putting my life on the line to protect one of them. To protect what? That behavior that girl showed me at that hotel today. That disrespect that she showed me. I would never protect anybody like that. But if you give me a Hebraeus, because they totally different, I would die for one of them. I would die for my wife. I would die for a real Hebraeus. Because I know that she did not put herself in a position where I lost my life just frivolously, just stupid. You know what I mean? That it was pointless. And this is what a lot of these dudes out here is doing. They losing their lives, man, behind these women. That boy that went up in that store in New York and lost his life to that old man that stabbed him because his girlfriend ran out there and told him that the man was disrespecting her and he never did it. And the old man stabbed him to death. And this is becoming way too familiar. It's happening way too much, man. You know, with y'all. And like I said at the beginning, I go out of my way to avoid. Listen, and this is the truth. I go out of my way to avoid black women. I do. I don't like to talk to them. If I speak, I'm just saying, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? I open doors. I keep it moving. I have conversations with black men. I have more conversations with white women than I do black women because they don't know how to use their mouths, and they'll put you in a bad situation, in a bad place, in a heartbeat. And I'm too old and too wise to fall into that. And it could have happened just that fast today. My wife could have lost me for months on end while I'm in court trying to fight this. You know what I'm saying? We losing income. We got to put money towards a lawyer to defend me. And it just happens that fast, man. And it's these women who are putting these men in these positions and situations. But, man, I just want to take a moment since I cooled down and revisited this and just made another video and tied it into the boy in Chicago who lost his life senselessly. You know what I'm saying? Because that woman would not. Listen, once again, I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care who started it. He hadn't put his hands on the woman yet. He told her 3 times. And you women got to stop thinking that you so dogmatic that you don't have to listen. Because now that boy that killed that boy, and if y'all didn't see the end of the video, you need to see the whole video. Because they show outside the store when the boy came in and shot the man in the store and the man ran out. And it shows him and his mama in the back. And clearly the man is trying to get away. I think he's on the ground trying to get away. And the mama stands with the boy and instructs him to go finish the man off. And she went and got in the truck and waited for him. And this is the type of depravity that these women are, you know, she raising him like that because she trying to raise a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? She want a man in her life to do her bidding. Because just like in that store, she got socked up and wasn't nothing she could do. So she sent her son to execute this man. And it's sad. It happens just that fast, man. But anyway, man, I just wanted to get the rest of that out. Enjoy making these videos, these 2 videos a day. And I'll probably make some, you know, in the upcoming week, tell you about something that happened to me when I was on my way back from Florida with my wife. All right, man. He Ron Ben Bilal out, man. See y'all on the next one.